Hello, beautiful soul friends. Thank you for being here yet for another mindful journaling and self nurturing session. Today's quote focuses on the choices we have mentally, emotionally, physically, socially, and spiritually, and more specifically, the choice of living a happy life. So, the quote, or shall I say, the affirmation we are focusing on today states that I am in charge of how I feel, and today I am choosing to be happy. This quote or this affirmation highlights our ability to choose our emotions, our reactions, our responses, emphasizing personal responsibility and mindfulness in achieving happiness. While external events are uncontrollable, our responses are not. And choosing happiness is a mindful act that can be strengthened through practices like mindfulness and positive talk and positive psychology. This type of mindset also aligns with cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and positive psychology, suggesting that we have um, that happiness is a proactive choice that also leads to reprogramming the subconscious mind for better and optimal thinking. Subconscious mind is where all of our good and bad habits and behaviors reside, and that's where we make most of our decisions from. So let's talk about this quote. And before we do, if you don't know, I'm your host, Sidika Schuyler with Quantum Helist at quantumhelist.com. These are mindful journaling sessions designed to truly detox and declutter your mind, heart, and soul for a more joyful, blissful, balanced, and aligned lifestyle. Your sessions are usually filled with a quote to help you easily remember and apply these healthy and self-nurturing techniques into your daily life. And then I will explain the significance of this quote. And after my explanation, we then begin journaling with my given questions, and you do the journaling itself at your own time. I also already provide you with the journaling questions down below in that little section where all the explanations and introductions to everything goes. Now, before we begin, I would like to take a first sip out of my chai tea. I made it more pretty dark today. I put more ginger in it, but it is a mix from this company. They're not sponsoring me, and I'm not making any money off of this. I just like to share some of the little treats and my little secrets to healthy living. So I buy all my herbs and teas and everything from two different places. One is called, they're very professional and licensed, and they have everyone over there is amazing and very knowledgeable, full of wisdom. Mountainroseherbs.com, and also Upful Blends, up like UP, UPFUL, upfulblends.com. They also have very healing blends of everything. From Upful Blends, I have only tried their teas, and they have been absolutely phenomenal, fantastic, as some of my really good friends say. So let's take a few deep breaths and then set our intention and perhaps ground ourselves and begin this session. All right. Now let's take a deep breath. Setting our intention to the Divine Supreme Universe, to the Divine Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother, Divine Father Sky, Divine Mother Earth, Divine Beings of Light, Divine Beings of Guidance, of Love, Protection, and Healing. We thank you. We thank you. Thank you. We thank all of our divine archangels, divine guides, divine archangels and angels. We thank you so much. We invite you. We invoke for a healing and protective session We thank you so much for this beautiful session that will give us and that has given us and will give us the opportunity to grow, to evolve, to enhance in our healing journeys, in our goals and our dreams. We thank you so much for this opportunity. In full faith, so be it, so be it, so it is. Om, Amen, Amin. Right, now, I'm going to go ahead and put another video in here while you listen to my beautiful voice. And after that, we're going to come back and do the journaling session. All right. Thank you again. And let's begin. I am in charge of how I feel, and today I am choosing to be happy. It serves as a potent reminder of personal agency and the power of choice in shaping our emotional landscape. Its therapeutic significance lies in its ability to shift the focus from external circumstances, which are often beyond our control, to internal choice and self-awareness, which are within our realm of influence. Firstly, acknowledging that we are in charge of how we feel is a cornerstone of many therapies, including mindfulness. And it's widely practiced as CBT in psychotherapy. So while we may not have control over every situation, we do have control over how we interpret and respond to them. This quote reinforces the idea that emotions are not merely reactions to external events, but are influenced by our thoughts, beliefs, emotions, choices. By adopting this perspective, we empower ourselves to challenge and change negative thought patterns and belief systems and reprogram, effectively shifting our emotional and mental states. Secondly, the quote underscores the notion of choice, a critical component in positive psychology and mindfulness and, spiritually speaking, which studies the strengths and virtues that enables individuals and communities to thrive. The act of choosing to be happy suggests an active engagement with our emotional well-being rather than a passive surrender to circumstances. This choice, however, is not a denial of negative emotions, but an affirmation of one's capability to cultivate positivity despite the challenges, to see the best in the situations, and to be patient with it. Research and studies have shown that making a conscious decision to focus on the positive can boost mental resilience, improve health, and increase longevity. Now, beyond all of these therapeutic implications, this quote also offers valuable life lessons. One of the primary lessons is personal responsibility. Rather than blaming external factors, becoming a victim for our unhappiness, or waiting for external circumstances to align perfectly, like victims, this quote encourages us to take responsibility for our emotional state. This sense of responsibility fosters a proactive attitude toward life, where happiness becomes an achievable goal, not just a fleeting moment dependent on a chance. Nothing is a chance. And so another life lesson is the cultivation of mindfulness. Being in charge of how we feel necessitates a heightened awareness of our thoughts and emotions. This awareness is a form of mindfulness, which has been shown to reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, stress, PTSD, and all of that. When we are mindful, we are better equipped to make choices that serve our well-being, that are clear choices, including the choices that we know will ultimately bring happiness. So, emotions. We don't have control. I just want to say this. We do not have control over our thoughts. Even when you're meditating, right? Try controlling it. We have about 60 to 70,000 thoughts per day. And the only way to reframe our thoughts, quantum physics and neuroscience, modern neuroscience, and all of that and positive psychology, including cognitive behavioral therapy. And mindfulness has always stated this. It's just, now we have science that backs it up. Thank you. Thank you, science. Thank you, technological advances. And so that in order to change our mind, our brains, our thoughts, we can change our mindsets by one of the best ways is in how we react and respond to our suffering and pain. So if we have control over our emotions, which is why this quote is saying, I am choosing to be happy today. So this affirmation is bringing awareness in itself to our subconscious mind, where all the thoughts, beliefs, good and bad, all of them, all the reprogramming, all the programming and reprogramming, everything resides in. And so just want to put it out there. Yes, you do have control how you respond and react to things. Now, if you have like PTSD or something very severe, obviously you have all these mindful tools that come in handy. Breath work, pauses, and also beginning your day with breath work and meditations and exercises, physical exercises, body movement, sound therapy, art therapy, all of those. But the only way to align our thoughts, words, and our emotions to create the blissfulness and the happiness and the joyful, fulfilling life experience that we wish to have is by starting at the root cause of everything, which is emotions. And why? Because emotions, out of the three, emotions, thoughts, and words, the first control that we absolutely, the first the first control that we have is our emotions, then our words, and then our thoughts, or vice versa. But everything starts with our emotions. All of our decisions are made from there. So in summary, the quote encapsulates a transformative idea that has both therapeutic value and offers life lessons, and reminds us of our agency in shaping our emotional experience, and encourages a mindful, proactive approach to achieving happiness. Now, psychology, mindfulness, scientific research converge on the understanding that we have a significant degree of control over our emotional states. As I just let you know, this control is not absolute, as biological factors and external circumstances do play a role, but numerous studies again indicate that our thoughts, choices, and practices can profoundly affect and influence our mental well-being. Starting with psychology, the premise is that our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are all interconnected. As I was talking about this before, negative thought patterns can lead to emotional distress, but these patterns can be identified, questioned, and reframed. The agency to shift from negative to positive emotional states rests largely within us, based on the thoughts we choose to focus and the narrative we tell ourselves. Techniques such as mindfulness and cognitive reconstructing teach us to replace irrational thoughts with balanced ones, essentially reprogramming our mental landscape for greater emotional well-being and health. So, mindfulness, a practice with roots in Buddhism, but validated by the wealth of modern scientific studies, now again emphasizes the control we have over our emotional states. Mindfulness teaches us to be fully aware of the present moment, including our thoughts, feelings, and sensations without judgment. This heightened awareness without judgment allows us to recognize our emotional triggers and habitual reactions. It creates a quote unquote pause where instead of reacting impulsively, we can choose a response that aligns with our values and contributes to our well-being and to our values. Over time, mindfulness can alter neural pathways in the brain, effectively reprogramming it to better manage stress and reduce symptoms of mental health disorders like depression, anxiety, PTSD, and all of that. Now, recent advances in neuroscience further support the idea of emotional self-regulation. Neuroplasticity, for example, the brain's ability to recognize itself by forming new neural connections, allows for changes in thought and behavior patterns. Techniques like positive affirmations and visualizations, borrowed from mindfulness and Buddhist and different Indo-Asians practices, can stimulate the reward pathways in the brain, releasing neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin that enhance mood and overall mental health very rapidly. The words we use both internally in our self-talk and externally in our interactions with others can also have a very powerful impact on our emotional states. Words can evoke emotional responses and activate regions of the brain associated with emotional processing. Positive language and affirmations can also contribute to a mindset of resilience and optimism, just like this quote. On the other hand, the negative language can perpetuate stress and anxiety. The language we choose is a tool to shape not just our perception of reality, but also our emotional reactions to it. I don't know why I got all so loud and just got all excited about this. Now, just want to conclude that mindfulness practices and neuroscientific research and all these scientific studies all suggest that we have considerable control over our emotional states. Through conscious thought patterns, mindful awareness, and the strategic use of language, we can reprogram our thoughts for better emotional and mental well-being. Now, journaling can be a highly effective way to explore our emotions, reframe our thoughts, and improve our mental well-being. Now, based on the concepts of psychology, mindfulness, neuroscience discussed right now, with the above affirmation, here are your 7 therapeutic and essential journaling questions. Now, what are the thoughts or beliefs that are causing me emotional distress today? This question aligns with the principles that help you identify the specific thoughts or cognitive distortions that may be contributing to negative emotional states. Number 2 question, how can I reframe these negative thoughts into more balanced and positive ones? The purpose of this question is to engage in cognitive reconstructing, which means to reframe irrational or harmful thoughts. What emotional triggers did I encounter today, and how did I react to them? The question is rooted in the mindfulness. By identifying triggers and your immediate reactions, you can better understand your habitual emotional responses. You can better understand your habitual emotional responses. What alternative responses can I consider when faced with these triggers? Building on mindfulness, this question encourages you to think of other possible ways to react, allowing you the space to choose your emotional response consciously, mindfully. Now, this other one, number 5, what positive affirmations or statements can I use to improve my emotional and mental health, well-being? This taps into the neuroscience and the concept of neuroplasticity. Positive affirmations can change the neural pathways in your brain, leading to improved and mental health. With affirmations, some people say that it doesn't really work. Yes, they do. 100% they do. However, they do when you use the words I can, I am open to being more loving and compassionate towards myself. I am open, or things that are true, not something like, oh, the affirmations such as, because your brain knows what to absorb and what not to absorb. And then you have the spiritual, the energetic aspects of yourself. Now, using an affirmation, for example, that is not very productive, like, for example, for someone like myself, I am the most beautiful woman and model in the world today. I am the best at being super healthy. Now, I know that's not true, right? But that's going very, very, very far into where you want to go. Let's start with I am open to healthier choices. I am open to making healthier choices that will lead me to a better fit body, mind, and heart and soul. I am capable of making healthier choices that would align and nourish my body. So that's how reframing usually works, and affirmations that really truly do work. Now, question number 6. How am I feeling right now in this moment, and why? This question encourages a state of mindfulness, being present and fully acknowledging your emotional state without being judgmental can be a powerful exercise in becoming self-aware of what truly brings you happiness. Now, number 7, what language or words have I used today, both internally and externally, that influenced and affected my emotional state? This question focuses on the influence of the language itself. Reflect on how your choices of words either uplifted you or brought you down, as words have the power to shape your emotions and perceptions. Now, this was the last question, and I just want to thank you so much for being here. You can go ahead and journal on your own. If you have any questions, you can go on quantumhealist.com and email me, connect with me. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Sadika Schuyler, with quantumhealist.com. And always remember that you are your own only limit. Yes, I said it, and I'm going to keep saying it until you remember it. I needed a slogan, okay? So I chose this one because it's true. Love you guys. Until next time. Bye.